everybody, this is Prepositions teaching video number 2, and just like in our first video, you need to have 4 things before we get started. You need your prepositions packet out of your grammar section in your binder. You need a pencil, a highlighter, pencil and highlighter, and your prepositions card, okay? So gather that stuff up and then come back and get with me for just a minute. All right, so in your packet, I would like for you to turn to page 7. Now, one of the things I like about these practice pages, they take sections from different novels and they use those sections as our exercises. So some of these books may pique your interest, and I don't know, you may want to go check them out at the library, you know, the place full of books, and read one. They have just really neat things that they have. You may even have find a book in here that you have already read. We'll see some of those too. So look on page 7, and all you're going to do for page 7 are find your prepositional phrases. So what I want you to do first, look at number 1, and I want you to pause the video and then go through and find all of your prepositional phrases, okay? Pause and go. All right, so your prepositional phrases, let's just read the sentence first. It says, they filed clumsily into the battle room like children in a swimming pool for the first time, clinging to the handholds along the side. Null gravity was frightening, disorienting. They soon found that things went better if they didn't use their feet at all. Okay, so prepositional phrases. First one, into the battle room. Second one, in a swimming pool. Third one, for the first time. Next, to the handholds, and then along the side. Good so far? Okay. Then I want you to go at all. The very last 2 words of that are your preposition. Now once again, if you have a question, you grab that Post-it pad or you write on there and make a star or something so that you'll remember to ask me next Tuesday in class. So if you have a question about why this is or this isn't a prepositional phrase, you make sure you write it down. Draw an arrow. Do something that's going to make you think to tell me again next Tuesday. All right, look at bonzo is a number 2. And so read about bonzo, find your prepositional phrases, and come right back. Okay, so number 2 says, Bonzo hated him for it, for the kindness. Ender tried to understand why. Maybe it seemed to Bonzo as if Ender were granting him his command as a favor. Well, it was Bonzo's own fault for giving Ender an unreasonable order. Still, he would only know that Ender had beaten him and then rubbed his nose in it by being magnanimous. Love that word, which means what? Go look it up. All right, look at number 2. You first preposition of praise, for it. Second one, for the kindness. To understand why is not a prepositional phrase. Trust me, and we're going to come back and I'll tell you why later, okay? Second line, to bonzo. And then third line, as a favor. For giving Ender. That's not one either. Same reason as before, but I'll have to explain that more later. All right, last line, in it, and that's all. By being magnanimous is not. Okay, same reason, but I'll have to tell you later, okay? So the second section asks you to write your own sentences. Skip over that. If you really are my word wizards, create as many words as you can using 3 or more of the letters below. 1 8-letter word as possible. Rocketed, like the missile rocketed into space, that would be your 8-letter word. All right, so moving on, go to page 8. We're still in Ender's game, I think. Yep. All right, at the top of page 8, it says, when a sentence starts with a prepositional phrase, you should usually put a comma after the phrase. So on sentences 1 through 4, you need to insert a comma, but in order to know where to put the comma, you need to know the end of the prepositional phrase. So let's do one together, and then I'll let you do the other 3. On the other side of the field, the receiving team waited. Well, I know that on the other side and of the field are prepositional phrases. So I'm going to put my comma after the word field. Does that make sense? At the end of your prepositional phrase. So you do sentences 2 through 4, and then we'll check them with your highlighter in just a second. Okay, now look on sentence number 2. From this day forward is my prepositional phrase. So I need to put a comma after the word forward. Number 3, after school is my prepositional phrase, so I'm going to put a comma after school. Number 4, without her computer, put a comma after that. Mary wasn't able to get much homework done. We talked about technology today. So without her computer, comma. Okay? Now, you read paragraphs 5 and 6 and find, all it says to do is find your prepositional phrases. Okay? So here we go. Pause it. Come right back after you finish. Y'all are fast. Here we go. Ready? All of the boys are organized into armies. That's your prepositional phrase. Day after day is a prepositional phrase. In zero gravity, prepositional phrase. Third line, as a common soldier. And then the last one, in battle. That to train, do you see how it's the word to and then a verb right after it? That's your clue that that is not a prepositional phrase, because remember, prepositional phrases do not have verbs in them, okay? So that is something else. So most of the time, when you have that kind of situation, it will be the word to. If it's to and a verb, it is not a prepositional phrase. Look at number 6. This, you've already done it, so let's check it. From the moment. Oh, look at the word in. Do you see the word in on the second line? It's all by itself. So is in a preposition? Don't be fooled. A preposition has to have its club, has to have its friends. Remember 7th grade girls? They have to have a pack. It has to have its phrase, not a prepositional phrase. To go. That's to and a verb. Is that a prepositional phrase? Nope, not a prepositional phrase. He had taught the standings almost continually. Here we go. At the end of line 3, for 3 years. And then keep on going down line 4, to him. And the last one, in the school. Good? Okay. Flip the page. Go to page 9. Still continuing with Ender's Game. And you have, okay, so here you were reading a paragraph and then you're answering questions about it. We're going to do these together, okay? Ender was the last one out after practice, since he stayed to help some of the slower ones improve on technique. They had good teachers, but the inexperienced soldiers, fresh out of their launch groups, were completely helpless when it came to doing 2 or 3 things at the same time. Sounds like me. All right, here we go. Number 1. Find at least 2 prepositions in sentence A. Well, sentence A. What do you have? I see after, of, and on. Okay, so any 2 of those, perfect. Look at question number 2. Is the word but in sentence B a preposition? Well, if you look on your card, it's not on your card. Sentence number 2, sentence number B. But the inexperienced soldiers, no, it's a conjunction. You should know that. Remember fanboys, the for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. Those are your prepositions. But is a preposition, a conjunction, not a preposition. Sorry, conjunction, not a preposition. Look at number 3. In the phrase, when it came, in sentence B, is it a prepositional phrase? It's not a preposition. Why? Because came is a verb, and you cannot have verbs in a prepositional phrase. So, no, not a prepositional phrase. Number 4, is the phrase at the same time in sentence B a prepositional phrase? At the same time, yeah, perfect. It's a prepositional phrase. So the answer number 4, yes. Okay, You do not need to do the next paragraph or the bottom. Okay, we're flipping over. Now, here's where I really learn what you know. Okay, so on page 10, at the top it says a preposition is a word that shows the relationship, circle relationship, between a noun and another word in the sentence. So you are going to circle the prepositions in sentences 1 through 5. That's all you need to do. Circle the preposition in sentence 1 through 5. Pause, do that, come back and we'll check it. Okay, you got them all right, didn't you? All right, so here we go. Sentence number 1, a daring mountain goat leapt over the rocky ravine. Over, preposition. Number 2, the tortoise strolled past the hare who had foolishly stopped to take a nap. So past is your preposition. Is to, T-O, a preposition in that sentence? No, ma'am, it's not. Why? Because the word right after to is take. Take is a verb. You cannot have a verb in a prepositional sentence, phrase. Got it? Good. Number 3, my little sister likes to ride her bike around the neighborhood. To, no it's not. Why is to not a preposition in that sentence? Look at the word right beside to, the word ride. That's the verb. It's an action verb, you can do it. You can't have a verb in a prepositional phrase, not a preposition. Oh, but around is. Around the neighborhood. Around is your preposition. Number 4, the arrow flew toward the target. Toward, your preposition. Number 5, once again, I had locked myself outside my house. Whoops. Outside is your preposition. Good? All right. Now, so the next 5, we look at prepositional phrases. So we're going to start with our preposition, go to the object, okay? Highlighter. A prepositional phrase, put a box around it, okay? Begins with a preposition, circle it, and ends with a noun or a pronoun, circle, circle. A noun or pronoun, what do we call those? OPs, those are your object. All right, so look at number 6. You're going to find the prepositional phrase, circle it, pause, come back, we're going to grade it. All right, number 6. The lion was hidden among the tall grass. Among the tall grass, prepositional phrase. Man has never traveled beyond our solar system. Beyond our solar system. Number 8. She dropped the, it should be bucket, not the bucked. Dropped the bucket into the old well, prepositional phrase, and there was no way to get it back out. Is to a preposition? No, because the word right after to is what? Get. Get's a verb. To get is not a prepositional phrase. You can't have verbs in prepositional phrases. Number 9, lightning struck near our house and our maple tree burst into flames. All right, so near our house is a prepositional phrase. Into flames, prepositional phrase. Number 10, I like to take long walks with my pet dog. Is to a preposition in the sentence? Because take is a verb. You cannot have a verb in a prepositional phrase. So moving on. But with my pet dog is a prepositional phrase. You got it? All right, so you've done a lot of different practicing. We're going to do more practicing in class on Tuesday. If you have a question, please, 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 please put that question somewhere. You're going to remember to ask it of me, and know that you can ask me either before or after class if you don't want to ask it in front of everybody. But like I said, if you ask that question, there are others who are probably wondering too, and they would benefit from your asking that question. All right, so I'm going to see you in class next Tuesday, and we are going to rock out these prepositions, okay? Y'all have a good rest of the week.